Hello and welcome to Survive the Unexpected with your host Frank Pacino and my best friend Amanda Bryan. And today we are covering episodes 5 through 8 of Big Brother season 2. What did you think of these episodes?
I like these episodes. A lot of good drama, a lot of good, tears and laughter and all the above. And it's been a really good start. I forgot
Hmm.
how good of a start this, because it technically is a start. I mean, 8 episodes in is not a lot for Big Brother,
Yeah,
like Survivor. So I think it is a good start.
for sure. Okay, so the episode starts. It's a lot of drama, a lot of like you said. I love the season. The characters on the season is great. Um,
So good.
so it starts off with Nicole running her mouth, talking shit, unpacking, just ecstatic to be there. And you see Boogie's face and Will, and they're like, oh, fuck, we're fucked.
Dude, I forgot how much of the on the outs they were in the beginning of this game and almost through the whole game, but I don't know how they saved themselves so much. I really don't.
It helped with who got HOH. This was the only outcome, I believe, that saved all of them this week. This week episodes is that the who won HOH. Because if anybody else wins HOH, Will's going up. And it's crazy to know from episode 4, people are like, Will's gotta go, Will's gotta go, Will's gotta go. It's
I know.
insane
And
that,
he somehow slimes his way through the whole time, man. I
but
just don't.
you see the groundwork already starting to lay though. He with Nicole.
Yeah.
You
Oh,
see it,
absolutely.
you see it start to go into motion
I
here.
mean,
But
even with Krista, because when Krista wins HOH, you're not really sure what, because like Krista didn't get a lot of screen time before she was HOH. She was kind of like a house guest when they first introduced the show, and everybody else that she was kind of like on the down. She didn't have very many confessionals, but there were diary rooms, I guess you could say. She didn't have very many diary rooms, but when she won HOH, she is suddenly a main character in this story now.
yeah,
Like she went from a nobody to a somebody, like literally like that.
yeah, well, you skipped a little bit, but yeah, Krista ended up winning this week's HOH, which is the only outcome besides one of Chilltown members to win, for them to be safe. So we what's the episode starts up. We see like a little bit of the drama before the HOH competition. Boogie or Autumn, depending on who you asked, was trying to hook up with the other one, and for a vote apparently.
I'm sorry, but he's not attractive, like at all. At all. He looks like a ghost.
Yeah,
So I don't Autumn and doesn't and I guess Autumn had a we'll get to that later.
yeah. I don't get her whole. It's so into the times this season because they're
Yeah.
compared her to a bigger female, and she is not that big. Uh,
No.
she's not a fitness model,
I mean,
but
just say she's not like a Shannon who's like super tall and skinny. Like
yeah,
it's different.
muscular, yeah, but she's just not. She's
Right.
not. I wouldn't say she's a quote unquote bigger girl, if that makes sense.
Definitely not.
Um, so that was interesting to see. That was heavily stated around this time that, uh, and that's. Well, I'm not gonna do the whole, there are black guys here. I'd get so much more attention. That was a little weird, but like that's like I said, the sign of the times right there.
Right. There's a lot of bullying. You see a lot more character bullying in this season with the earlier boots like Autumn and even a little bit of what's his face that left. What was his name with the knife?
Justin.
Justin. Yeah, even with a little bit of Justin too, of just like really character pushing them of like not being good people. Like
Mhm.
even like Autumn is not like a likable character. They made her edit a not likable character.
Yeah, Will is the quote unquote villain of this season from this season, but in all reality, he's a fun villain. Shannon's a mean villain. She's a,
Shannon's awful.
she's terrible. She's really mean.
You know her and Will dated after the season?
Yeah, for a couple of years,
Yeah.
I think like 2 years or something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, it was funny because when the whole chip thing came up, going into Autumn's bed, and she's like, "Oh, I just thought she might be hungry." I'm just like,
And then they called her out on it. They were like, what are you thinking? Like, why would you say something like that? And she was just like, at first she was, just defending herself. And then later on she realized kind of what she was doing, and she was like, she kind of came back on it a little bit.
Yeah, and we have a house meeting, but then I'm not gonna lie, I really love house meetings. So we need more of it in Big Brother.
I agree.
They're always so much fun.
Yes, I agree. House meetings are hilarious.
If I ever played Big Brother, I'd be like, hey, you should go start a house meeting.
For no reason.
Just for no reason. I'm
For
like,
no reason.
you better get that bitch. Get her. Just call her out in front of the whole house. Let's do it.
For the whole house. We're gonna throw
I'd be gaslighting all
America
that
a
stuff.
show. No. Terrible.
And then we get fake tears from Shannon. Well, it was fake tears. I'm sorry. It was.
You thought it was fake tears.
Shannon crying during the house meeting.
Oh yeah,
That's fake
absolutely.
tears. Nobody believed that.
To get the attention off herself in that way.
Yeah. It was not. It's like, come on, just don't do that. You make yourself look worse.
Shannon and Will are like king and queen evil. Like, they fit each other so well on this.
Yeah, for sure. They are definitely interesting to watch together.
Yeah.
So we get to the HOH competition.
Think about it. It's our first showmance.
Yeah.
Our first showmance that we've gotten to so far would be Shannon and Will. And Shannon had a boyfriend going into the house. So.
Yeah. So we get to our first HOH competition. It's the blindfold trivia. Basically, they ask questions and you have like paddles. You answer the answer to the question. It's like a number. And if you get it right, you're still in the game. If you get it wrong, you're gone. This is what I miss about Big Brother nowadays, is competitions like these, like the majority rules and stuff like that, where like anybody can win them. Yeah. Not the person who's the fastest physically, not the person who can do
physical competition for America to watch. So that's why they do so much of them, because it piques the interest and they get more airtime out of it. Whereas with like the paddle comps or like the buzzer comps, they don't do as many of those because it's just not as interesting.
I think there should be a mixture. I think there should be like a 50-50 type thing.
I agree.
Not like a 80-20 it is now for physical over mental comps. I think they need more mental comps and more social comps, where it's like the first HOH competition or like the majority rules. So it's like a touchy subject, like who's the biggest crybaby, and everyone votes, and stuff like that. They do competitions like that later on.
It's always good to do either at the end of the game or the beginning of the game, because it can either alter people's perceptions already of you or start them of you. And I think that it's important. I like touchy subjects in both Survivor and Big Brother.
Oh, me too. They need to do it both shows.
Both shows.
So it comes down to Hardy and Krista, and they have to do a tiebreaker. Krista ends up winning. That saves Chilltown, basically.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely.
Anybody else, they're nominated, and Krista's playing the middle pretty well.
Yeah, I think so.
Chilltown thinks Krista voted with them. And she didn't. She voted with everybody else. And if she voted with Chilltown, they would have got their way. Nicole would have been gone. But because she voted out Cheryl, they have no idea. So it's kind of funny.
Nicole, but you know what? Nicole's great on this season. Like from being like first nominee and wanting to be first out of the house, people wanted her first out of the house, and she really turned it around. She really turned her game around. For
sure. It's everybody's trying to figure out what they're trying to do. Which is a good strategy. I actually kind of like this strategy a little bit, especially this early on. She goes up to everybody. It's like, who would you nominate? So I'm asking everybody, who would you nominate? And
I think it's a good strategy for being so early in the game.
And so everybody tells their opinion. Everyone says Will except for Chilltown. Everyone says Will and one of the other two.
Why doesn't she do that?
Because Will's not coming for her. And this way she can play. Even if she doesn't put up Chilltown, the other people aren't putting her up. They're putting up Chilltown. And she saves Chilltown. If they win HOH, they're not putting her up. She just saved them. They're putting up the other people.
True.
So
That's
like
true.
by doing this, she plays the middle ground perfectly. She has protection on both sides because both sides are gunning after each other. And then if she just takes off somebody on the other side that's not important to the game, like, and then it doesn't affect nobody. It doesn't piss anyone off. It does piss people off because they don't do Will, but they want Will out so bad. They're not going to put Krista up there. Krista's out. They're going to put Will and Boogie or Will and Shannon.
Right.
So that's why she did what she did, which I think is a great strategy. And it's really cool to see. Like, this is head and shoulders to what we just watched of how much strategy is going on in this game already.
And they're enjoying themselves at the same time.
Right.
Whereas on AO they were miserable the whole time, and the strategy was lacking. Whereas in this time they're all enjoying themselves. They all say they like each other for the most part. I mean, Autumn was a one-off, but I think everybody else for the most part gets along.
Yeah.
I with Nicole and with Krista, I think that them both being with Chilltown helps Chilltown out, and Will's in charge of it all, but it just amazes me how no one goes after the Will and Shannon, deal. No one does.
I think I'm pretty sure it happens sooner than later, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
This week, like I said, Krista just wants to be in the center, which is
Right.
Great strategy.
She knew that second HOH was not somewhere to make a big move.
No, and what, taking out Will, does that benefit her, who's not gunning for her?
Right.
Boogie, who's not gunning for her, Shannon, who's not gunning for her. Like, get rid of somebody who's not on your side that will maybe put you up eventually. Yeah. Like those three aren't putting her up before Kent, Bunky, Nicole, Hardy. Those people will be targeted.
Could you imagine Bunky would have won HOH?
Oh, Will would have been gone up.
Yeah. They've been hella gone.
Yeah. So we get to the food competition, and I love food competitions. I miss them.
I do too. I like food competitions as well. They're entertaining.
Yeah, they're entertaining, and I love this. Like, it's a way to show people, like I like the have-nots. I like to see the people who are having the no food and struggling. We don't see that now anymore because people are cheating and just eating out of the fridge.
Yeah, I'm saying, because they freaking cheat. That's why. Thanks, Jackson. That's ruined by you, by the way. Not to peep on season 21 already, but
and so it's basically guess your weight. The objective is to say my weight's X amount, and they have to get the closest to it, and which it's males versus females. Whichever group gets the closest to it on their actual weight, they end up winning the food. It's quick, nice, easy, and I like to see people who have the food and people who don't. I enjoy that.
Yeah. Plus, they have the barbecue coming up later, so
yeah. The men win. So the women don't get any food. They're eating PB&J, which I still don't think it'd be that difficult for a week. It wouldn't be that hard.
Yeah. I don't know. If I could have, like I said before, if I could have different jellies, I'd be fine. Like, if I could alternate between like strawberry and like apricot and like grape, then I'd be good. But I don't know if I could do.
Just put some toast, make it some toast, put some peanut butter on the toast, and.
Oh yeah, you could toast the bread. Yeah, you can go back and forth between toasting bread. You can even toast it on the stove, melt it all together. You ever had melted PB&J?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's a lot. I think I could survive for a week. It's just a week.
We could do a week.
Yeah, it's not really anything, but we get to Will apologizing to Nicole about everything that happened, and like he like half apologizes and calls her a bitch. So
it up, doesn't she? So
she goes, quit while you're ahead. Well, while you're somewhat ahead, I guess.
She undermines him so bad. He plays her so hard that she undermines him so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Terrible.
Yeah,
he has no competition in this season. Like, let's just note that he has no competition in this season.
Nicole and Hardy are good. They dominate a lot of the game.
Nicole and Hardy are good, but Will is still on another level.
He just knows how to just suck up the people.
Yeah.
So we get a Shannon apology tour. And apologizes to people, but like people know it's like half-ass. And
I think she's a mean girl. She's just a mean girl. Like she doesn't see fault in the things that she does, and it,
she's
that's
probably
the
always been
result.
the hot girl.
Oh yeah, she's never had to get work for anything.
Yeah, she's always been the hot girl. So yeah, but yeah, it's just we get the fake apologies. People get a little upset. They're just like, oh yeah, for sure, you're good. But like that's about it.
People know that it's people know that they're not she's not being genuine. She's not being genuine. She's not being truthful.
Mhm.
And she's such a bad game player. Like she really is just a terrible
Mhm.
game player.
She's a perfect ally though. She'll always take that bullet.
Oh yeah. She'll always take the bullet. She'll always try to win comps for you. She'll
And she does take you to the end. No one's voting for her.
literally
There's nobody. She's not winning the game against anybody.
no.
I don't think.
No.
She
Except
ruins that.
Can't be the only one she might win against.
Yeah, but even then people respected Kent in a way eventually. It's weird.
Yeah. I wouldn't
So,
like Kent.
yeah, then we get to the point where Krista's asking everybody. We already went through that. She's asking everybody, who would you nominate? She doesn't want to nominate 2 Chilltown members. Monica tries to convince her a little bit, and that's yeah. Monica's real smart. It's own.
Its own.
she's
Literally.
a great character. It's like some of these people, like it's crazy to think that Will and Boogie are the only people who played more than once in the season.
Yeah.
It's crazy to think about that. Like
I always think for some reason that Bunky played again, but he did not. He did not play again.
he did not get into All Stars. Him
No.
and Monica did not get into All Stars. There were 2 people from season 2 who didn't get in and they tried to get in.
Right.
But like it's just the I'm surprised to me that some of these people haven't came and played again. But it's harder to play returning seasons than Big Brother. Because
yeah.
I mean, altogether, there's
just not as many.
Okay, so we see Nicole and Will talking more. Will's trying to butter her up. We see a lot of that these couple of episodes of him trying to work on her, which is it's just you see him just chipping away a little bit, chip, just chip, and he's trying to get her to
work slow but effectively.
He's trying to get her to come to their side. So he's hoping that Nicole will come work with Chilltown, which will never really happen. But that's what he's trying to do. We get to the nomination ceremony. Krista is really having a tough time figuring out who she wants to nominate, and she gets to the table. She's wearing a towel, like she just got out of the shower.
Why is she wearing a towel? And she's wearing a towel in her hair, and she's wearing a towel around her body, and she's literally doing full on. I don't know if she ran out of time getting ready or what, but
just put some t-shirts and shorts on.
Yes. Why are you doing it all in a towel? I don't think I've ever seen someone do the key nominations in a towel.
I've never seen that.
No.
That I remember.
No.
But she gets to the nominations and ends up being Kent and Autumn. And basically she wants Autumn gone. She pretty much said so. I love how direct these guys are at their nomination ceremonies because there's no veto. There's no veto. So like these people are locked in for the week. It's between these two. Nothing changes that.
Which I like sometimes.
I don't mind the veto command in the game. I don't mind that at all.
I like the veto when you don't overpower it. But I almost like the idea of not having a veto just a little bit because it makes the 2 people try harder to stay. You see so many people go on the block and they're just like, oh, I'm fine. I know that person's going to go home. I'll just win the veto. You know what I mean? Or have someone win the veto for me. I like that it's a 50-50 chance you could stay or go. And you got to fight. And if you don't fight, then your butt's out the door. And I do like that part of it.
I agree. I do like that part. It does the veto. adds to the game. I don't think it takes away. I don't think it's like a bad thing. As long as like I said, the competitions need to have a happy medium. It needs to be
Yes.
like 50-50. And competitive ones and
Mental.
trivia, mental things like that. Because a lot of these the new competitions involves a lot of running and climbing and all that stuff. It's just like some people have such an
And
advantage in
long.
those things.
Some Big Brother comps are long.
Yeah,
I'm talking hours and hours and hours long.
yeah, we don't need to see all those
No.
competitions. Those are catered to only a select few. I want to see everybody get a chance to,
Yes, me too. I agree.
because it's just now that's why it's so easy to control the game nowadays. That's why it hurts the game. It's because the competitions, I believe. That's why the game's hurting overall. That and casting. Casting's awful
Casting's
nowadays.
off. But yes, we'll get to that.
All right, so basically that ends episode 5. We're on to we're on to episode 6, and Kent feels betrayed by Krista. But I'm like, really, like he acts upset, but then later on,
Real off shit. Like he does.
he's
He is.
weird.
He's not. I'm not a fan of Kent. Not a fan.
Uh, I give me there's an episode. It's one of my all-time favorite episodes. It's coming up with him,
Okay.
and we'll talk about it.
Okay. We'll talk about it then.
It's so good. But yeah, he's all upset, but it's like it is what it is. You're there now. There's nothing you can do about it.
Right.
Boogie and Autumn like fight about the whole who tried to have sex with who
They
situation.
didn't have sex, did they? I think they just went to third base.
Yeah.
Well, at least that's what I've been told. Like read or whatever is that I think they got to third base, and that was as far as it went. I think he wanted to go farther, and then she wasn't about it. She started to pull back, and he got mad about it. You
I
know.
mean, I don't know. I don't want to comment on that. It's too out of my thing. I don't know. Can you
Yeah.
imagine hooking up with somebody and then realizing, like, yeah, I don't like that person, but you have to live with them?
For the next however long, they're just starting.
Yeah,
They're
just
just
started.
starting.
Just started. And this is before she
People
was
get bored.
nominated. They
People get
definitely
bored.
get bored. Yeah, for sure. Honestly, I think they have a lot more to do with their. I wouldn't say now, but they do have a lot to do. They have basketball court, a lot of games, a hot tub, pool. Now the pool should be a little bit bigger. It's like 3 feet. Like, why
Yeah.
you can't give us a
Yeah.
5 feet pool?
Oh, I'd be pissed. Yeah.
It's like up
Well,
to
there's no
their
lifeguard
waists.
there. There's no. I
I
mean, I
guess
guess
so.
there's like emergency personnel or something, but
I mean, 5 feet. Like everyone's over 5 feet there. Majority of people are over 5 feet. Amanda, just grow a little bit.
I'm 5'1.5". Okay, so I am above your 5 foot requirement, sir.
Uh, but we get back to the game, and Krista wants to get Autumn out. She tells everybody Autumn's my target, and it's just because she says she uses the excuse of her like not being emotionally stable and
Yeah.
all that jazz. But it's basically they just don't want to deal with her.
That she's like a single mom. She's a boyfriend, but she's more of a single mom. And I don't know her on this season. I don't think she was a good casting. I really don't. I think that she's funny, kind of entertainment wise, if you want bad TV wise, but otherwise, I don't see the.
I think she was casted to be a train wreck.
Yeah, they
And
definitely gave that edit,
and she delivers on that.
Oh,
She's
yeah.
just nothing
They
but
definitely.
emotional, crazy, trying to hook up with guys.
All of them.
All of them.
All of them.
If Hardy would have gave her the business that night, she would have took it.
Night one.
Night one.
And
Hardy's like, get away from me.
I know. Poor Hardy.
We get a little Hardy montage in this episode as well. All the women just gawking over him.
I don't think he's that attractive.
You don't think he's that attractive?
Not really, no. I don't like his hair. I don't know, or like his face, or I don't know, something there I don't care for.
Yeah, they do a slow motion of him all sweaty and water running water down his body. And
Bye. Not my I'm also not a fan of like the big buff guys, like real big muscular, like or buff guy. I'm not a fan. Like Jesse in season 11, no.
but Jesse's a tool. No one likes Jesse.
Oh, I love Jesse as a player. Don't even get me started. He got shafted so many
He got
times.
he got shafted the second
He
time.
got
I give
shafted.
that.
He got shafted first and second time.
Not the first time.
Yeah, we'll get there.
We'll get there. I wouldn't say that first time, but the second time for sure.
Yeah.
The coup to Jeff. But we get in.
Know all this BB lingo.
Yeah, we get back to another montage of everyone hating on Shannon. Like right, they do it right back to back. Everyone loving on Hardy, and then next thing you know, God, I hate Shannon.
Dude, everyone hates Shannon, but Shannon does it to herself. It's a little bit different than, you know what I mean, than hating Autumn, because Autumn is almost like innocent in a way that she doesn't mean it, but Shannon means it. You know what I mean? Yeah.
Oh, Shannon means it. She means to be mean. She
Yeah.
she does it, and
Will's
she
like
don't give a fuck.
Will's like attracted to that 100%.
It's that crazy hotness.
Crazy hotness scale.
There's a scale.
Crazy hotness.
What's up?
The crazy hotness scale.
Yeah,
the crazy they are, the hotter they are.
No, it has to reach a certain point. If they're like, have you ever seen How I Met Your Mother?
Yes, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah, just gotta make sure they hit the right point.
The crazier they are, as the graph comes up, they go up.
Yeah, she's probably crazy in the bed. That's probably why Will's like, give me some of that. And you know, she's not a bad looking girl. She's not.
She's okay. I think she's a little plain looking, honestly.
What?
I think she's kind of a little plain looking.
I wouldn't say plain looking. I mean, who do you think is better or more attractive to her in this house?
I mean, no one else is more attractive than her in the house, but I don't think that she's still like attractive in a sense. Like,
okay, so she's good. You would say she's a good looking woman, right?
I mean, yeah.
Okay, so if you're in a house full of women who are okay looking, and you have a really good looking, she looks that's much better.
I guess that's true.
Think about it. It's like
the cheerleader effect.
Yeah, the cheerleader effect. Yeah, so that's probably why she looks more appealing to him, and she's crazy. Will's attracted to how crazy she is.
He really is.
So we get to a luxury competition, and it's a bull riding competition between men and women for a barbecue. The women really want it because the peanut butter and jelly is so difficult. Shannon's like, I've lost like 3 pounds.
Give them a break, Frank. Give them a break. They don't want to eat peanut butter jelly for over a week straight.
Shannon's like, I've lost like 3 pounds. But she's a weightlifter, so I can understand her.
Yeah, I guess that's true.
Because she can't lift weights while she's not eating protein.
Right. I mean, there's a lot of protein in peanut butter, but
not enough. Not enough to get her through. Can you imagine how much she needs to eat to probably what she normally eats throughout the week?
I can't.
Yeah, so that's a lot of peanut butter she'd probably have to eat. Yeah. I don't think I could do that.
No.
But it's a fun competition. They're bull riding. The men, like, so it's different speeds for the men and women. The men get tossed around like rag dogs.
Dude, that comp was almost kind of unfair for them in a way, because they were thrown around way more than the women.
Yeah. When you have Hardy flinging around on the second heat, like the way he lasted 6 seconds.
Big dude.
He's a big, strong guy for him to be flung. And Will is really good, pretty big this season as well. Right. And he gets flung around too. And both heats.
Yeah, but Will's like notorious for throwing competitions.
That's true. But this isn't a competition he'd probably throw. He's trying to win. Remember when he brought the peanut butter out? Right before the last one he went out, he was like, hold on. And he went back in the house and brought a thing of peanut butter out and said, just wanted to show you guys what you guys would be eating for dinner and sat it down. Savage.
Savage. I know. I was gonna say he's savage. Like, oh my god, that
And
was
then,
feeling though.
and then lost like 8 seconds.
Mhm.
But it was so good. I so wanted him to win that competition just to say he did.
Right.
But we see a big breakthrough in Nicole. She gets in the pool and in the hot tub because she thinks it's a big cesspool, but she finally gets in to be part of the crowd.
I think she's really like that. I think she plays it up for the cameras.
I don't know. She's a lot.
I can kind of see her being like, I was gonna say, I kind of see her being like that, but I can see her play with the cameras too, but she really like not about it. Not
Right.
about it.
Right. No. We get a nice little birthday dinner with Boogie and Krista. They share the same birthday.
That's cool.
That's cool. Yeah. They have a little date and they're eating Southern food, and Boogie has no idea what he's doing. He tried to eat the shell, and she's like, no, don't eat that.
Crawfish. You ever had crawfish?
No, I've never had crawfish, but I know you don't eat the shell.
Crawfish?
No.
Oh my gosh, it's so good. It's like you have to crack it and like perfect, and like you like she did, like you suck all the juices out of the head,
Yeah.
and then you pull the meat and out of the tail. It's so good. It's good.
I've never had it, so. But I know you're not supposed to eat the shell.
No, you're not supposed to eat the shell.
I do know.
Oh, crawfish is good, bro.
Yeah, I've never had it myself. I might be. I don't know. Oh, we see Will working on Nicole again, trying to pull it in Chilltown. That's like after the second episode pretty much winds down really quick, or episode 6. Basically, we see a little thing of Monica about how everyone likes her, and she's like, "I'm playing the game. People aren't thinking I'm playing the game. I'm playing the game."
I am playing the game, she says. I think she's in a great spot.
Mm-hmm.
I think Monica's in a great spot. She's not on anyone's radar. She still is partners with people and gets the information that she needs. And I think she's playing a good game.
Yeah. And we see Kent just kind of like distancing himself, being all boo-boo the fool, whiny over here. But other than that, that's pretty much it.
A perfect example of the bitch block. Like, I'm gonna whine and complain because I'm on the block, even though it's my own fault. Like, that's he is a total bitch block.
Right. That ends the episode. We move on to episode 7.
Yeah, episode 6 is without the veto guys yet. It's going to be short on those episodes, and we don't have like an HOH or a nomination going home. Like,
they definitely use those episodes for character moments, which is good. They use the episode for good resource. Like, we see something on Hardy, Monica, Shannon, Will working with Nicole. Like, we see a lot of character moments in that episode that if we had the veto comp, it is difficult for them to do that in today's episodes. That's something we do miss, is that they spend so much time on the comps when they shouldn't. That's why I think some of these comps should be like quick ones, so it can be over in 10 minutes, and that way we have 20 minutes for conversations and character moments and things like that.
I think they really rely on the live feeds for the people who are super fans to get their fix of like conversations and like game. But I think that they should rely on the live feeds more for competition, because people can watch competition live. So if you want to see, I would just be like, here's a couple quick clips of the comps. You can go on CBS.com, watch the whole thing. Here's the winner. I don't think people really, yes, the comps are entertaining to watch, but at the same time, people like character development. People like arguing. People like the intense game conversations too. They need to have a better balance of it.
Competition should only take like 5-10 minutes.
Yeah.
I need only 5-10 minutes. I don't need 2 commercial breaks of competitions. I just don't. I don't need that in Survivor either. That's one of my biggest complaints on Survivor, is that when we have a reward and immunity competition, it's a lot of competitions on the screen. I like it when it's just one competition in Survivor where we have immunity and reward up for grabs, and all at once, especially the earlier episodes, like the tribes, because we still need to get to know these people. And if we're spending so much time on the competitions, it's really hard to get to know these people. And by not having the veto competition this episode, we did have a food and a luxury competition, but they were quick. and we still had
Right.
great character moments where we got to know the characters a little bit more, especially the ones that are staying. So Chilltown wants to get rid of Kent, and the other side wants to get rid of um
Autumn.
Autumn. It's really up to Nicole. Nicole's kind of like in the middle a little bit. Hardy and them are kind of questioning her loyalty a little bit. Like they think that she might really decide with Chilltown, but she keeps reassuring them, "I'm not with them. I'm not with them." And she's not with them at all. So I don't know why people even questioned it. Like
Right.
she's just because she's doing a good job of what she said she was going to do. She told him, "I'm going to play this side. I'm going to act like I'm going to do this. I'm going to give me all this information, and I'm going to come tell you, Hardy." And even Hardy's like, "Do I believe her?" I'm like, "Why wouldn't you?"
Hardy. Hardy is dumb but smart. If that makes any sense, you know what I mean? I think that he just thinks that everyone is really nice and genuine, and that's not what's going on. I mean, I don't know. He like is annoyed with people, but likes them at the same time, but doesn't express his own game feelings. He kind of just goes along with everybody else. Like, I don't know. He's not a forefronter like I would think he would be.
Right, right. So we get the more segment of Shannon and Will's relationship, and we get to talk to Shannon's boyfriend outside of the house of like, what was it, like 13 months, 16 months or something like that?
Months, they said.
That's
A year, like a year and a quarter.
there's no way you're catching me on TV looking like a
No,
punk.
same.
There's no
There's no way.
there's no way. How about you let me go talk to Will? That's what you should let me do. Go talk to Will. Because literally Will's talking mad shit in there. And he goes on that camera. He looks like a fucking punk because they're showing like she's like saying how much he loves her and cares about her as they're like rolling around in the blankets and stuff. I'm like, damn, you made this man look like a punk.
Man, looked like a punk. And then on top of it, he was like, oh, like he was like, oh yeah, if Will has anything to say. Boy, that boy's a doctor. You think you have any competition right now? He's smarter than you. He makes more money than you. He's better looking than you. And he's got your woman on national television cheating on you. Like you already the fool and clown times 100. Like you're just making it worse. They must have paid him a lot of money to go on TV. You would have had to pay me a lot of money to
There's
go
no
on
way
TV.
I'm going on TV. If I have a significant other, especially like,
No.
over a year, things are kind of getting serious. I I'd
Yeah.
say like things are kind of getting serious. So like for her to do that on TV and give no fucks about what you're thinking, it's kind of messed up.
Yeah. I mean, and I mean, obviously what Will and Phil were kind of like true because they dated afterwards. You know what I mean? They dated afterwards after the fact. But yeah, that poor guy. I felt bad for him.
Hmm.
I did. I felt terrible for him.
Yeah, after all that, we get a little Julie interviews some of the house guests about the week, how it went, and all that stuff. What she does. Do you like Julie as a host? I meant that. I don't think we ever talked about her.
Um, Not as much as Jeff, but I do. I wish that Julie was a little bit more pushy like Jeff is. I think that she could ask a little bit more brash questions to put them on the spot a little bit more. I think she tries a little bit to be their friend type of thing. And I think that her exit interviews can be a little stiff sometimes.
I think she's the biggest prompt breeder of all time. That's all she does. She has no like we see Jeff
Been
kind
news
of
anchor for a long time. You know that, right?
what?
Julie was a news anchor for a long
Yeah,
time.
that's what
When
we
she,
get. It's boring. I don't like her as a host. I think she's boring. We see Jeff interact and has his own personality.
oh
To
yeah, he
me,
has all some lines. I don't think Jeff has anything that's scripted other than the usual, like
we get we get we get a lot of this. But first,
yeah,
it's like, oh god,
at
Julie.
first. It's a hashtag now. I was like,
Oh
what?
yeah,
What?
she's just not my favorite host. I
No.
think out of the shows I watch, The Challenge, Survivor, and Big Brother, she's definitely third. I definitely prefer TJ and Jeff Probst.
I haven't seen the challenge. What about the Amazing Race? Who's that host?
I see. I can't remember his name. I watched one season. It's just not my thing. I can't get into it.
Yeah,
I
I
just,
don't
I just,
know
it's
either.
just not my thing. To be honest
No.
with you, we get Krista's interview with Julie about her regrets in the season. She flat out says, and she thinks Will has no chance to win the game. That she doesn't find Will the threat because he can't win the game and all this stuff. And it's just like, that ages well.
Yeah, it does age well. And honestly, they thought, I mean, that worked with Russell, so it's not impossible. It's not,
But
completely
this is way before Russell.
This is true.
This is way This is right after Borneo. Richard
Yes.
Hatch just won.
Yeah.
Who is a in your face character.
Well, I know that. I'm just saying, like, though,
Fresh.
but Russell can play that evil game and lose. So
Yeah.
it's definitely possible for someone to be disliked and take them to the end so they lose. Like that is
Paul.
possible. Yeah. Paul, yeah. Paul should have probably won that season 19, honestly.
Oh, there's no probably. He should have won that.
Doesn't Paul have the most diary rooms of all time?
Probably. He's
Think
he's probably he's top 3 of biggest icons of recent history.
Yeah. I would say so.
Like from like you would say probably from 16 on. He's definitely in the top 5.
All-Stars.
Something was going on with his family, I believe. He got asked, but I think his parents had surgeries or something. And with COVID going on, he didn't want to leave just in case something crazy happened, which I completely understand.
I think that they'll have another returning season soon on Big Brother. I don't think they'll wait again.
We'll see.
There's people that they wanted to go that weren't able to go, like Rachel and Paul and people like that.
Josh, Casey, they definitely wanted both of those to.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Why wasn't Hayden on the CBS? Give Hayden a shot on Survivor or Big Brother. It doesn't matter which one. Bring him on both. Bring him on Big Brother, and then in the next season, bring him on Survivor. You can do both. I'll be happy with both.
Could you imagine if they're like, "Hey, this is what we're going to do with you people. You're going to be on Survivor, and then you're going to go straight to Big Brother and do Big Brother."
I think it would be dope to have like a mixture, bring people from like the Amazing Race, Survivor, Big Brother, even the Challenge. You can do that because they're under the same company now, and bring them onto a season of Survivor.
I think it'd be great to do.
I think it'd be fun. I think it'd be awesome.
It's good, like cross advertising.
Yeah, for all your shows.
Yeah.
But we get to the boat. It's 7-0. Autumn's gone.
Autumn's gone. Everyone voted for her. Well, she voted for.
Oh, she can't vote. Remember, she's in the block.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. She's on the block.
She was all bitter about. Don't even say goodbye to me. Don't hug me. Nothing.
I know. I can't believe she did that. She was like, I don't want you to walk me out. I'm like, the shade though, like she was mad. She was pretty mad.
It's just
again,
she brought it upon herself.
So darn.
Right. She brought it upon herself.
Exactly.
Like it's what do you expect?
It's not, I mean, we are not sad to see Autumn go. Autumn was annoying. She's good TV, but
everybody else there I kind of enjoy more.
Yeah.
This cast, I don't think there was a dud. Like even Justin's crazy ass, he brought something. Because Cheryl was the hot mom, the hot crazy party mom, who everybody loved. Then you have Justin's murdering self, and then we had Autumn, the big crybaby, whiny, and then you have everybody else left in the house who have their spot. There's cast you don't look at this cast and be like, oh, this person was worthless at all.
Paul, you're right. You're absolutely right. This cast was pretty strong.
That's what carries this season and makes it so well, is that the casting was on point.
On point. They probably spent a lot of time this is before it was not before internet, but you know what I mean? Like person interviewing. Like you're not doing casting calls over the internet and you have to go through 3 stages before you finally get to CBS. I think they were really picking their people.
We get to the goodbye messages and they're there. They're nothing special. Nicole's crying in it, but
right. She did say she felt closest to Nicole the most. So
do you like that there's no crowd? I don't think we touched on it.
I like the crowds.
You do? I like the crowd before they directed it into what to do.
Yeah,
I loved it when they would boo people.
Yeah, I know. Great team. I love. I do like the crowd. I mean, like, cause like to me, like Big Brother, like when Big Brother first comes on, like the first image on the screen when it first starts, it's the crowd on eviction night. You know what I mean? Like that's just like iconic. Like when it's eviction night, you're gonna hear that crowd clapping when Julie says, "Welcome to Big Brother," and then they turn and it's like we're all clapping and cheering because it's eviction night. That's like that's like Big Brother to me. You know, like that's part of Big Brother.
Mhm. Uh, we get her reunited with her family. Do you like that they brought their family?
No,
No.
it was
Oh.
boring.
Your heart, but you love the family visit. Okay.
Listen, because on Survivor they're going through hardship, and Big Brother they're partying the whole time. Like, yes, you miss your family, but you're having a vacation at the same time. Like, yeah, Survivor's vacation, we gotta like endure the elements. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know. 39 days sounds a lot easier than 90.
yeah. I couldn't. 3 months would be a long time.
Yeah, I
Long
could.
time.
I couldn't do it nowadays. We
No.
get to the trivia comp, and it comes down to Hardy and Shannon. It's a tiebreaker. Shannon wins the tiebreaker, or Shannon loses the tiebreaker. Hardy wins. It's quick. I think I totally described this competition for the first competition. This one's the number competition where they're doing the numbers.
Oh yeah. Which competition did we skip?
It was just a blind. It was just a blind. I described it as the number competition, but it was just a blind trivia about random people, but random.
Oh, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
Okay.
my
Yeah.
apologies.
Okay.
But
Makes sense.
this one's the number competition, and it comes down to Shannon and Hardy. They answered the last two questions wrong, both of them, back to back,
Back to back.
and then it's a tiebreaker, and Hardy wins by like I think like
3 tiebreakers.
60. So
Yeah.
Hardy's the HOH. We're get the reign of Hardy next week.
Yes, I'm excited to see Hardy as HOH.
Yeah.
I think he was a good wild card to win it. You know what I mean? Like he wasn't a typical like Shannon to win it or like Will to win it or like even like a Bunky to win it. But I think he was a good middle ground to win it.
I think this is where we start the season starts to pick up,
Yeah.
like with the aggressive. This season's a lot of drama. There's things that hasn't happened yet that we'll be discussing here soon. Certain toothbrush incident and things like that. But yeah, I don't know. I think Hardy is. I'm not a big fan of Hardy itself. I think he's a fine player. My issue with him is that he's such a big hypocrite the entire season, and I just can't stand it.
Yeah. I haven't seen Big Brother 2 in a long time. So I
Mhm.
barely remember what happens, but I do remember Hardy being a little full of himself and a little, but not full of himself. Like he says, like, "Oh, I'm not full of myself. I really don't see myself that way." But you
Mhm.
know that he really does in a certain type of way.
Right, right. No, I agree. It's like I said, these episodes are flying by for me. It's so much easier. We see a lot of them having fun, a lot of drama, a lot of strategy. That's all I can ask out of any of these shows. If I'm
Oh yeah,
watching Survivor or Big Brother, I want to see good characters, and I want to see good strategy talks and things like that. I don't
I
want to
agree.
see people miserable the entire time. And we get that in both shows eventually.
We do. We do eventually.
Excuse me.
There's people, believe me, there are bad seasons of Big Brother just as many as Survivor.
Yeah. When Big Brother's bad, it's bad.
Yeah.
There's a couple of seasons where it's just like, oh my god, I can't. And it's harder when Big Brother's bad. It's bad because it's so long too. And
Yeah, you have
I'm one of those people who since I started watching since 17, I've only stopped watching one season,
22.
22. It was just so it was
Bad.
worse for 22 in my opinion because of how excited and how much I pumped up All Stars 2 for
Oh,
me.
we did. We both of us did. We were so pumped for All Stars. We were so ready for cast release. We were already,
We did a
strategizing.
draft.
We did a draft.
Mariah won.
Yeah, Mariah won. I got second. Because Enzo's the man. I love Enzo, even though I played the same game twice.
I got there. I picked Nicole. I'm
She made far.
yeah. I'm a Nicole fan. She's one step away from. She just tweets her. Just owns the villainness about herself. She'd be my favorite female
That's
player
exactly
by
what I was
far.
gonna say. If Nicole would just stop playing the victim and just embrace her villain role, she'd be great. She'd be
Sorry, we
all
got
time.
a little tangent. We're talking about Nicole Franzel, not Nicole season 2.
Oh yeah, sorry, my bad. That's true. That is very true.
But
Nicole's played.
we're gonna keep doing these week blocks. It's the easiest way to do it. So the next one will probably another 3 episodes, and we see Hardy's nominations, eviction, find out the next HOH, and go from there. But that's
It's super late for us, guys. So if we look tired, we apologize.
Yes.
Super late for
This
us.
is it for us. Please follow our Facebook group, Twitter. Just give us a thumbs up and subscribe. That'd mean a ton for us.
Yeah.
We have a Twitter. Put the link in the bio. Same with the Facebook group. Thank you guys for listening. You guys have a nice night.